One of the questions we get asked most often is about tax identification numbers for trusts. First of all, if a trust gets a tax identification number, it's called actually an employer's identification number, even if the trust doesn't have any employees, and that's usually shortened to EIN, not TIN. So does your trust need an EIN? Well, it doesn't need an EIN if it's what's called a grantor trust. But how do you know if your trust is a grantor trust? If you establish the trust and your money is in the trust, whether it's revocable or irrevocable, if you continue to have any benefit from it, it's a grantor trust and it doesn't need an EIN. These rules are actually pretty complicated. They're way more complicated than they ought to be, and you probably want to talk to an attorney or a qualified certified public accountant about whether or not to get an EIN. But if your banker or your regular accountant is telling you that you have to have a tax ID number and that your trust has to file a separate tax return, always double check, because that information is widely spread around and not always accurate, and it can incur additional costs if you have to prepare a separate tax return for a trust that didn't need a tax return in the first instance. Always seek an accountant and a lawyer who are familiar with trust accounting and trust tax returns, because the information is not widely understood by every practitioner in the field.
Are you looking for an Arizona attorney to handle your estate planning, trust administration, guardianship, or probate? Call us today at 520-622-0400 or visit us online at elder-law.com.